All right, everybody, it is 2 o'clock and we're going to get started. I know there's another webinar getting ready to end here any minute, but we're going to get started and get through this one here. So planning for your recovery. I am, as you guys know, I am a member of many Facebook dental groups, probably 25 or 30 of them. And I am seeing people posting from all sides. I'm seeing hygienists, I'm seeing assistants, I'm seeing front desk teams, I am seeing dentists and office managers, and they are all posting different things. They are all talking about the same thing in different ways. And, I want everybody to consider whatever position they are in the dental office as a COO or as a CEO, as any C-level employee. And, that is something to me that is super important. One of the things I do with my team here, a lot of people don't realize the size of the team I have here in my office. It's not just me. There are many of us here all working diligently. Well, not right now. But when we're not shut down, everybody's here and working and doing remote billing and verification and insurance collections, and, bookkeeping and all that fun stuff. OSHA compliance, HIPAA compliance, so on and so forth. And we stay busy, but one of the things I believe in is openness. I share with my team our goals. I share with my team where I want us to be and where we are. And I see so many offices, so many dentists that don't want to tell people, hey, listen, we're at a 56% overhead or a 74% overhead. Share your information. I am a big believer in sharing information. The more information people have, the more they understand. And that's just something I believe in. So that's going to be a big thing we talk about today. Again, please remember, for those of you who are live with us right now, don't be afraid to throw something up in the chat. Don't be afraid to use the question and answer feature here within Zoom, and I will answer any questions you have. For those of you watching the replay, please don't hesitate to put a comment on the replay post, and I will be more than happy to answer any questions that I can. So what we're going to talk about today is planning our recovery. What are we going to do when we come back from these shutdowns, when we get back to work? So that's super important. Everybody needs to be planning now for later. So you have to know, what are your plans for now? How are you weathering the storm? And then what's your return going to look like? There's a lot up in the air about that. There's a lot of information out there that is conflicting information. We can't go back until after April 30th, but then there are some states who are saying we could go back April 16th and we can do this. And I'm not gonna say anything I'm not 100% on, but I can pretty much guarantee you none of us will be going back to work before May 1st. I personally do not see it happening. I don't see us getting back to work until after May 1st. So, and it may be even later than that, but we're going to talk about that as we go on here. So right now, one of the things we have to be thinking about is financial solvency. This is important to any business, not just dental offices, but super important to dental offices. Dentists have that reputation of their, the rich dentist. I have seen more posts from dentists. I have gotten more messages from dentists and more phone calls from dentists saying, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have enough money. I just bought my practice a year ago. I don't have a 3-month stockpile of funds. What am I going to do? So the number one thing we can do right now is ensure the financial solvency of the practice. People want a job to go back to. Some people. Patients are going to want to return to your practice. So we need to know right now, how long can you pay your expenses for? That is number one. Look at your profit and loss. Look at all of your bills for the first quarter of 2020. Figure out what can be canceled, what can be deferred, or what you should still continue paying. And we're going to talk about this a little bit because, again, financial solvency, ensuring the future of your business, is number one right now. Okay, I tell all of my managers, and one thing a lot of people don't know is I always prefer to hire from within. So I have a team here in my office. When we have an opening, when we have somebody who leaves, or we have a newly created position, if it's a management position, if it's an upward move, I prefer to hire from within first. So I'll take the time to find somebody on my team who can fill that position, who I think would be successful at that position. One of the discussions I have when I have somebody going from a team member position to a management or team leader position, one of the discussions I have with them is, you have to understand you're getting ready to switch teams. And what do I mean by that? I mean, when you are a manager, when you are in the management team, when you're, every Friday, 10 a.m. in my office at the conference table, we have a managers meeting every Friday. When you're in on that meeting, you're on my team now. Before that, you're probably on the team's team. And I don't want anybody to think it's us versus them, but it's a different way of thinking. When you are on the team's team, you think about your team members. I'm on the management team. I think about my team members as well. But my number one priority, my number one loyalty is to the company. And I expect my management team to follow that path as well. So we have to think about the company first. And this is where things like this come in. And, nobody likes to fire people. Nobody likes to lay off their employees. It's become a reality. It's the way it is right now. But, you have to look at it this way. Would you kill one person to save 1,000? 99.9% of people out there would say yes. And that's the decisions owners are being faced with today. You may have to lay off 1, 2, 5, 20, 30 people in order to maintain the financial solvency of the company, in order to make sure that people continue to have a job to come back to when all of this is over. This isn't going to last forever. Unemployment is not going to last forever. Everybody is thinking, hey, that extra $600 a week on top of the unemployment that I'm getting from the state, man, I'm making more sitting home than I would if I was working. This is wonderful. Well, they don't realize that $600 a week federal bonus that I don't think any state has actually received yet or begun processing. Some are supposed to this week, but we'll see what happens. People don't realize that is incredibly limited. In most states, you can be on unemployment for 39 weeks. That $600 is not going to last for 39 weeks. It's much more short term than that. So people are going to be back to making $204 up to $700 and something, depending on your state, very, very quickly. So it's our job as owners, it's our job as managers, and it's our job as team members to know what we need to do. So first thing, we are going to look at our profit and loss. I'm going to kind of breeze through this. We'll come back to it when it's important, but I want everybody to see this chart represents my target profit and loss for my clients, for the dental offices that we work with. You see, lab fees are at 5%, dental supplies at 6%, starting at 12 o'clock, working our way around clockwise. Assistant payroll expenses at 7%, hygiene at 8%, admin at 8%, other payroll at 2%. That includes temps, that includes other payroll expenses like health insurance and so on and so forth. Marketing 5%, facility expenses 5%. That's your rent, your electric, your utilities, your telephone, your cable, so on and so forth, internet. Overhead expenses at 9%, which is generally everything else, your insurance, your office supplies, not dental supplies, but office supplies, paper, toner, tape, paper clips, et cetera, et cetera. And then business savings at 5%. Okay. I tell all of my clients, save 5%. You take 5% of your gross collections, put it away. Okay. It's not going to take you long. In under 2 years, you're going to have, a month or two's worth of savings in there. That's what we want. It's going to take you 20 months to get there, but you'll get there. If offices had been doing this for the past 4, 5, 6, 7 years, no dentist would be posting, freaking out on their Facebook page or on these Facebook groups. Oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to pay my people. I don't know what I'm going to do. My landlord won't waive my rent. What am I going to do? There's no deferment, blah, 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 blah. I need to cancel my practice management software for $100 a month because I can't afford it. It's forcing people into knee-jerk reactions, and that's something we want to avoid. So please, please, please make sure going forward, and again, we're going to do a lot of webinars on this once we get back to work, but please, please, please make sure you are budgeting for savings. But if you look at that, the largest portion of expenses is payroll. That's number one. So what are we spending right now that's generating income? Because now we need to decide what we're going to do. Because if we're going to keep these percentages accurate, our income has dropped. Our income has dropped drastically. For most of us, down to zero. Maybe a couple emergency patients here and there, but when you're used to seeing 20 patients a day and you're now seeing 2 or 3, maybe 2 or 3 a week, our income has dropped substantially. So we need to cut expenses. But what are we going to cut? So first thing I'm going to look at is what are we spending that's generating income? If we have employees who are working to collect from insurance or helping you see those few emergency patients, they are helping generate income. We want to maintain it. Outsourced services that are calling and collecting from insurance. If you don't have an employee doing it, you have an outsourced service, like us or any of the others out there, keep them on it. I have my billing team working right now, calling on outstanding claims, collecting those. And I can tell you, after 2.5 weeks of the majority of our clients being closed, last week we had the largest company-wide collections day we have had in the past 24 months after everybody's closed. So, I want your office to have money to come back to continue to have income. So please, please, please keep collecting that money. Services that allow you to provide teledentistry appointments, do not cancel them. Okay? Keep it, whether it's Zoom or whether it is Revenue Well's new service, whatever it may be. Keep it going. That in the states that are allowed to do teledentistry, that is another way for you to generate income from home. You don't have to go see the patient, but you can still treat them and keep them out of the emergency room. So keep that service. It's going to generate you a small amount of income, even if it's just enough income to cover the cost of the software itself. I'm okay with that. Next thing on the list of things not to cut. Suppliers that are providing PPE and supplies so you can continue to see those emergency patients. Okay, do not stop ordering masks. Do not stop ordering gloves. Keep it going. And then finally, marketing, SEO, social media management, anything you're doing with that, it is very contradictory to people who think I'm shut down, there's nothing I can do. There are offices out there that are killing it because all of these emergency dental patients who have nowhere to go because dentists are saying, we're seeing emergencies, but only for existing patients. Well, what about somebody that hasn't been to any dentist in the past 5 years? You know, you don't want to send them to the emergency room. The hospitals are overrun. See them, treat them. You know, market yourself out there. You can be doing teledentistry. You know, you can get paid for it, but do it. You know, with that said, keep your marketing going, your SEO. You know, marketing companies right now are crushing goals. You know, open rates on emails going out are higher than they've ever been. Facebook is busier than it has been ever because people have the time. They may not call you today. They may not call you tomorrow, but they're going to remember you. They're going to save your ad. They're going to see your ad. Now is the time. Keep yourself in front of those people. Now, if not for today, for tomorrow. So please, 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 you know, do not cut these things. These are big things. Now, one thing I want to say, you see, I said employees or outsourced services that are collecting from insurance. Okay. Now is not the time to be sending patients to collections. Here's my kind of sidebar collection system for what we're going through right now. I am still processing statements just like I always would. If I mail you a statement after you get an insurance payment in and you have a balance, I'm going to continue to do that. If I process, you know, A through K on the first of the month and K through Z on the 15th for statement processing, I'm going to continue to do that. That is just the way it's going to be. I am not going to send anybody to collections. I am not going to put notes on my statements that are threatening to send to collections. I am just going to put a note that says, your payment is appreciated. I am actually working on a letter for those of you who manually stuff your invoices and manually send statements. I'm working on a letter now that you can put in with the statement, just explaining, listen, you know, we know this is a hard time for everybody. People aren't working. We're not working either. We're a small business. We're doing this. We are not going to send to collections. We are not going to charge any interest. If you are able to pay, thank you. If you are not able to pay, please let us know and we will work with you to get through this together. So that'll be up in the group later on today, that letter, and I'll also post a link in the comments on the video. But you know, now is not the time to be sending patients to collections. The last thing anybody wants right now is getting calls from collection agencies. And I'm telling you, the potential for negative reviews will kill people, will kill offices, because people are watching how we react now. You don't want to be the guy that says, I know you're out of work. I know you're laid off. I know you're not making money. I know you're not this. I know the $600 a week funding hasn't come in yet, but I want my $400 or I'm going to send you to collections. Don't be that person. Please don't be that person. So the next thing on our list of don't cancels, what expenses are allowing you to maintain contact with your patients? Okay. Your practice management software is number one. There was a big post a couple days ago, last week sometime. Somebody said, oh, you know, this practice management software company, if I cancel my service, they're going to charge me more when I come back. Do not cancel your practice management software. Number one, you want the ongoing support. Number two, if there's updates that come out, you want to be able to get them. Number three, you rely on that. That practice management software, your Open Dental, your EagleSoft, your Dentrix, is the life of your practice. It is the veins and arteries through which the blood of your office flows. Do not cancel it. Keep it as long as you can. Patient communication, Revenue Well, Lighthouse, any of those programs, those systems out there, keep them. Maintain communication. Like I said, open rates on emails, on text messages are through the roof. The highest number of opens you can get is what we're getting right now, because people have nothing to do. Stay in communication. Make it fun, make it light. Send one out that's informative. Send one out a couple days later that's more lighthearted and jokey, and attach a video to your email through Revenue Well and say, hey, it's Dr. Smith and I just want to check in on everybody, make sure you're okay. Please let us know if there's anything we can do. Be there for them. They're going to remember that. Your telephone system, hopefully everybody has voice over IP at this point. If you don't, either way, keep your phones going. I don't think anybody is looking at turning their phone service off. However, I've had a lot of people contact me and say, I pay for this and this and that, and this upgrade and advanced voicemail and call forwarding. And so, I want to cancel all that. I just want to keep my number. I want to go down to the basic level. Don't do it. That is a bad place to try and save money. Answering services, same thing. They're kind of last on my list of not to cancels, but don't cancel them. Keep the communication flowing. If you can't tell, that is super important right now. Communication between your office and your patients is super important. The other thing that is super important right now is communicating with your team. Okay. We're going to talk about teams in a few minutes, but I really just want everybody to understand how important this is. It is so important. Stay on track with your team. So, next one here. You're still going to have to defer some bills. Okay. But remember, the electric company is not going to say you're good. Your landlord is probably not going to say, don't worry about the next couple months rent. I got it. I'm on it for you. Don't worry about it. I'll just waive it. There are very few landlords that are going to do that because they can't afford it either. They have mortgages, they have expenses, they have, maintenance that still has to be done no matter what. American Express isn't going to call you and say, hey, that $4,500 balance you have, don't worry about it. We got you. Forget about it. We'll take care of it. It's not going to happen. So even if you are able to defer bills, you're still going to have to pay them. The deferment is just, you can either pay them now or you can pay them later. Okay, what's going to happen as of, let's say, June 1st, if you waive your April, May, and June, let's say you defer your April, May, and June rent. July 1st, you're still going to owe rent. You're still going to owe the full 4 months worth of rent. So now July 1st comes, you're back to work, your funds are getting depleted, you have payroll, you're probably going to have to at least make 1 or even 2 payroll cycles before you start seeing real income coming in. So you need to make sure you have enough saved for that. But the last thing you want is to be hit with hey, it's July 1st. Here's a 10-day demand letter from my landlord saying I now owe him 4 months rent. How the heck am I supposed to pay that? Pay as much as you can now without depleting your funds. Okay, we're going to get into the funding here. And this is what you need to know is how long you can survive. What do you have in your savings account right now? And for you dentists out there, I am not talking about what you have in your personal savings. Hopefully your personal and your business expenses are separate. They have their own accounts. Everything is separate. Yeah, you know what? There are times when business owners have to pull money in from their personal pockets into a business to keep it going or give it a little boost or, act as a small line of credit. But keep it separate. Make sure you can pay your personal bills with what you have in savings. Okay. And just so you know, I am not talking right now about paying your personal bills, your personal mortgage, your personal electric bill, buying groceries, so on and so forth. What we are talking about today is 100% related to your business. So, what do you have in your business account right now? How much do you have and how much are your expenses? We need to be prepared to be closed for at least another 60 days. If it's less than that, hey, listen, I will be wrong all day long about that. But I am telling you, be prepared to be closed for 60 days. Do not even think we're going to open until June 1st at the earliest. Okay, there are schools that have already shut down for the rest of 2020. Schools that are saying, yep, we're going to see the kids in January. It's happening. So be prepared for another 60 days. You need to know what you have in your savings right now. Okay, so let's say we have non-cancelable expenses of $14,000 a month. So if we have 32 grand in the bank right now, that's 2 months plus a week. So savings less than your monthly expenses times 2, you have to cut those expenses. Okay. And unfortunately, the first thing that gets cut is a large portion of payroll, because if you are not seeing the patients, you don't need the people. You want to have 1 or 2 people there, people answering phones, people maintaining communication, people calling insurance companies, if you don't have it outsourced. You want to have that. You don't want to cut that. But there is absolutely no reason for hygienists to still be on the pay. There is no reason for you to be paying an assistant unless you are seeing 8 to 10 emergency patients a day. There is absolutely no reason for you to have an assistant still working full time. Okay. And this is just the harsh reality of it. This is the ugly truth. People need to be laid off. They need to be furloughed. Whatever you're going to do, however you're going to cut that expense, people don't want to hear it. I've talked to so many dentists. Just this morning, I was on the phone with 4 different dentists, all of whom said, I don't want to. I want to continue to pay them. I'm going to try and apply for the PPP. I'm going to get a economic injury disaster loan. I'm going to tap into my line of credit, et cetera, et cetera. Please do not send yourself further into debt. Now is the time. Cut back the expenses. We have to face the ugly truth that we need to be able to survive for 60 more days. Okay, and this is the way to do it. Unfortunately, it's the first line of expenses. It's the first thing that has to go. You gotta cut them. So, as far as the payroll protection and the economic injury disaster loan and lines of credit, talk to your accountant, talk to your banker, call your congressman, ask your spouse, talk to your Grubhub driver or your 4-year-old. Everybody knows the same at this point. Okay, your 4-year-old knows just as much about what's going on with the EIDL as your banker does, as anybody at the SBA does. The rules are changing constantly. There's no way to keep up with them. It's going to be months until we truly start seeing any funding. There's going to be dribs and drabs, but I personally applied for the EIDL for my company, put in the $10,000 grant that's supposed to be paid within 3 days. After a week, still nothing. I called the SBA. I sat on hold for 4 hours, only to be told, well, it's with 3 days of when we process it. And right now our system is down. It's going to be another week or 2 until we can even start processing. And even then, you're not guaranteed 10,000. It's based on number of employees and a whole bunch of different factors. So, I may have to wait a month until I can get a $150 grant from the SBA. Nobody knows what's going to happen. So, please make those hard decisions now. You can always bring somebody back. Okay. And I have confirmed with my banker, with the chairman of my bank, that you can lay people off now as long as you bring a certain percentage and hit a certain head count after you receive the PPP funding. You are okay. You do not have to maintain their payroll between now and then. It's for 8 weeks after you receive the funding. It has nothing to do with today. So get them off of your payroll. Get them off so you can save that money, because you're going to need it. Every business is going to need it. And believe me, your employees would rather get paid every paycheck for the next 10 years than get paid these next 4 or 5 paychecks that they're going to be losing. They can collect unemployment. They can do whatever. Just, please, please, please get them off. I know offices don't want to do it. Owners don't want to do it. Dentists don't want to let their teams go. They feel like they're letting them down. But you have to save the company. The business is the number one priority right now, and we have to keep it afloat. So, you got to do it. It's unfortunate, but it is just the facts. It's just the way it is. We have to lay people off. We have to do furloughs because we have to conserve our resources. We have to let 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 or 20 employees be laid off right now in order to save the company that could potentially, over the next 30 years, have 30, 40, 50, 60 employees that you are supporting or have supported. You gotta save the company. And how we're going to do that is by preserving our resources now. Also, remember, loyalty is a two-way street. I've seen dentists on Facebook groups saying, I can't lay off my employees. They rely on their income. I'm their boss. I should have to eat it. I should have to this. I should have to that. And at the same time, there's employees posting in the Facebook groups, boy, I wish he would just lay me off. It would make my life so much easier. I wouldn't have to work that 1 day a week, which is messing up my unemployment and making me change this and do that. And I also see, and I actually counted because I knew we were doing this today. Yesterday afternoon, I spent about an hour and a half counting posts in some of the office manager groups of how many people were saying, I'm going to quit this job as soon as this is all over. He expects me to come to work 1 day a week. He expects me to call or be there for when we're seeing emergency patients, and I'm not doing it. And we don't have the proper PPE and so on and so forth. And listen, I know there are a lot of bad bosses out there. Hopefully nobody listening to this is a bad boss, but I know they're out there. Believe me, I know they're out there. But a lot of these posts are from people who 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago were saying how great their boss was and how they can't imagine ever going anywhere else or working anywhere else. And they love him and he's great, or she's wonderful. She's the best boss I ever had. And now all of a sudden, because all of this is going on, I can't wait to quit. I'm just waiting till this is over and I'm going to start finding a new job. I'm going to start looking. Loyalty is a two-way street. And I think both the employers and the employees have forgotten that. So, please, that brings me to my next thing. My next, because Rick said, do not make knee-jerk reactions. Okay, stop, take a minute, breathe, relax. We will all get through this together. It's going to be okay. Stop making knee-jerk reactions and stop posting dumb stuff on Facebook. I have already talked to 2 dentists who called me to find out what they could do because somebody sent them a screenshot of their office manager or hygienist posting stuff in other groups talking bad about them and saying how much they hate him and how much they can't wait until they can quit her and never have to work for her again. And, you know, stop stop posting dumb stuff. Stop. Just stop. Stop spreading false information. Stop making knee jerk reactions. He wants me to come to work. I'm not going to work. I'm going to quit as soon as this is over. Okay. And I've seen a lot of people say, watch how the companies treat their people because this is going to determine where you're going to work 6 months from now. And you are 100% right. But the other side of that coin is watch how you treat your employer and what you say about them, because that's going to affect where you work 6 months from now just as much. You know, everybody work together. Everybody stop making knee-jerk, instant emotional reactions. Okay. Business is not about emotion. It's business. We are in business. We all get up and go to work every day because it's a business, because we get paid. There's not very many of us who would go to work if I said, hey, come on into work. I'm going to pay you in Snickers bars next week. None of you are going to come in and work 40 or 50 hours in my office for 10 Snickers bars. It's not going to happen. No, you have to remember we are a business. So, please just remember everything is a two-way street. And, I am loyal to my team members to a fault. And in return, I expect the same loyalty. If I don't get it, I don't want to continue my relationship with you. That's the way it works. So, what do you do right now? Stay in contact with your team. That is number one. We have a group text that we are all in on where we are just checking in. Hey, for those of you that need the reminder, today is Tuesday. Good morning, because, people are stuck at home. People are furloughed. People are, we're shelter in place here in Pennsylvania. People can only leave their house to go to the grocery store. Everything else is closed. That's it. You can't get together with friends and family. You can't hang out. The kids aren't supposed to be having sleepovers or visits or going to the park and playing in groups. It's just not happening right now. So stay in contact with them, checking in just to see how you're doing. How's your day? Don't forget, today is Wednesday. We have that group text every morning. One of my management team sends out a text first thing in the morning. Hey, good morning. Checking in, seeing how everybody is. Today is Wednesday, just so you know, because you forget what day it is when they're all the same. Number 2, stay in contact with your patients. Your patients are super important to you. Not right now, because you can't see very many of them. But a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, your patients are going to be super important. And I want you to be the dental office that's getting good reviews because you're checking in with people. You're checking on people. You're making sure everybody's okay. You're staying in contact, and that's the important thing. You do not want to go radio silence and just have dead air coming from your practice, because there are other practices that are not doing that who are going to scoop them up. Stay in contact with your vendors, okay? Stay in touch with your suppliers, with your vendors. Let them know what's going on. I had a client who, listen, we send out bills just like everybody else. And I sent out statements just like I told you guys to. And I got calls from 2 dentists, both of which went a totally different way. One of them was, hey, Rick, I got your statement. I know we're in a contract. I know I owe you this money. Is there anything we can do to defer this, to push it back? Can I pay you a portion? And I said, you know what? Absolutely. Pay me what you can. and we'll figure it out when we get back to work. The bill's not going away, but pay me what you can. And when we get back to work, we'll figure it out. So he actually ended up paying me like 70% of the bill, which was wonderful. Second client, I get a phone call. Hey, Rick, this is Dr. Me. I'm just calling to let you know I got your bill. I can't believe you're still sending out bills at a time like this. Here's my credit card number. I'm going to pay you in full for this bill, but I want to cancel our service. And I said, you don't have to do that if, we're sending out statements because they go through our billing system, and it honestly happens automatically, and it is what it is, but we can work this out. Well, the fact that you would even mail out a bill is just ridiculous to me. I'm a small business trying to survive. Well, guess what? So am I. So is your lab. So are many of the businesses that you guys do business with. Okay. Dental City, Nashville Dental, a lot of the suppliers, the smaller suppliers are small businesses as well. Patterson and Shine, they're not small businesses. They still need to be paid. They still have people that are working. Everybody still wants to get paid. So stay in touch with your people. Work deals where you can. Not everybody's going to be agreeable to it, but understand they are in the same place you are. So just maintain communication. Use this time to create or refine your systems in your office. Okay. Everything in your office needs a system. Okay. I have spent countless hours over the past 2 weeks working in Trainual for my team, updating information, adding new information. If you don't know what Trainual is, you can certainly check it out. I don't get anything. Go to trainual.com, whatever it is, and Google it or whatever. And, check it out. But creating those systems, refining them, adding new information, new training systems, make it easy. Also, fix what's wrong with your practice management software. Okay, I get so many calls from dental offices saying, hey, can you guys enter fee schedules? Can you guys delete duplicate insurance companies? MetLife is in my EagleSoft 26 times. Can you delete those? Can you help us get that cleaned up? Now is the time to do that. Get that stuff cleaned up, get it fixed, get it straight. So when you come back, everything is better. You want to start your business back up better than it was when you left it. Okay. If you don't know how to fix what's wrong with your software, search the information out. It's online. There are Dentrix groups on Facebook. There's Andre's EagleSoft Field Guide on Facebook. Join. There's an Open Dental user group, official and unofficial. Join them. Join them for your software. Ask questions. I will tell you, if you have EagleSoft and you are not a member of Andre's EagleSoft Field Guide, you're a fool. Join it. There's information there. There's step-by-step on how to fix these things I'm talking about. But I want you to come back to your business stronger than it was when you left. That's what this time is for. I saw a meme the other day, and yes, it was a meme, but it said, 6 months ago, people were praying for more time with their kids. Now they have it, and they're spending all day on Facebook. 6 months ago, people were praying for time to fix their practice management software. Now they have time to do it. So, I guess it wasn't right when I said, oh, if I had more time, I'd work out more, because we all have more time and not many of us are working out more. So, please take advantage of this time. This is a gift. It is stressful, but it's a gift. Fix what needs to be fixed. So that's what you can do for your business. What can you do for you right now? Number one, stop spending money. Okay. I look at Amazon sales every day for the previous week, for the previous 2 days, 48-hour period. Amazon is up. People are spending money. Stop spending money. So many of us think, oh, I can buy this or I can buy that. Oh, that's so nice. It'll make me feel better. It's not going to make you feel better tomorrow. Having that money available for what you need is what's going to help. Spend time learning. Learn as much as you can. Watch, Facebook is now filled with people like me doing webinars like this. It's amazing the amount of free information you have access to. It is absolutely amazing right now. Take advantage of it. Everybody is doing them. Take advantage and learn as much as you can. This one is an important thing for me. Get up, take a shower, get dressed. There's no PJ days. Okay? Get up, maintain your sleep schedule. I still am going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time as I was when I was coming into the office every day, or if I was out with clients or traveling or, speaking, whatever it may be. I'm doing the same thing right now. I'm maintaining it. I get up, I get dressed. I don't lounge around in my sweats. I put on my suit every day. I'm not wearing a tie because I hate ties. I never wear ties. I'm in the house. I'm not putting on my suit jacket, but I put on my dress pants. I put on my button-down shirt. I'm not just sitting around in sweats and PJs and yoga pants. I would never wear yoga pants myself, but I'm not doing it. I'm maintaining so there's some resemblance to a normal life. Keep it going and think about your future plans. This is key. Okay, this is why I said don't make knee-jerk decisions. Now you have the time. Think about your plans. Think about what you're going to do. Don't just knee-jerk it. Don't just say, "Oh, nope, I'm done. I'm moving on. I'm doing this. I'm closing the office. I'm doing." Think about it. Take a minute and think about it logically. So, part 2, and then don't go away because everybody's going to want to see this next slide. Part 2, Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, same time. What to expect when you open, what you can do now to make opening smooth, and how we're going to pay back those loans we're taking out today, if you're taking them out. All right. So I have a special offer because I'm bored. I am going to do 5 free 1-hour Zoom calls to the first 5 people who email me with the subject line Zoom. All right. Send the email rick@practicemechanic.com. The first 5 people, I will do a 1-hour Zoom call and we can talk about whatever you want. You want to talk about insurance. You want me to look at your profit and loss. You want me to help you decide, what's right for you. Because remember, there is no one right answer. It's different for everybody. First 5 people who email rick@practicemechanic.com, put in the subject line Zoom. We will schedule a 1-hour Zoom where I will answer any questions you have. I will help you in any possible way I can for 1 full hour for the first 5 people. And we're going to do this every week, first 5 people every week. So, please, please, please check us out on Facebook. If you're not already a member, join the Dental Billing, Coding, and Insurance Academy Facebook group. Check us out there. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/practicemechanic. Email me. You have my email from before. I'm here to answer any questions you may have. Please do not hesitate to reach out. I will help everybody that I can. So, again, we're going to get through it together. I will see you all on Thursday. Have a wonderful day between now and then. And, remember, we're all going to get through it. We just got to get through it together. Stay healthy.